Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another Kano Tryharding Modern, and today we'll be playing Mono Green Tron. This is a list that I was playing recently that I actually kind of liked, or remember liking, so this is the one we're going to play. You may notice that I don't have my green screen set up, and that is me bumbling around. I realized the room that I wanted to set up as my office does not have any lighting whatsoever, and I don't have any studio lighting. So I was like, okay, well, so I'm set up in my living room right now. That is actually a completely fake fireplace. It's not hooked up to anything. You can't have a fire in it. It is purely for decoration, nothing else. It literally like just goes up into like a little drywall panel. There's nothing there. So, but we're gonna play this Mono Green Tron deck, and before I ramble on about too much more, we're going to go ahead and... Which one was that one again? Mono Green Tron 7. I apologize if you can hear Porter munching on his bone that he got. He recently found it again after the move, and he's pretty ecstatic about it. Alright. Oh, I've got the wrong... There we go. I was going to say, I've got the wrong view up. Oh, I don't have my stream deck out. I'm gonna have to operate the buttons manually on the computer. How horrifying. Let's see. Oh, can I not? Do I have to use it from the stream deck? Oh gosh. Okay, we're going without the record and the punt button today. I'm horribly unprepared. I apologize, everyone. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to having a full office set up to be like a little stream studio. Why doesn't Tron run All Is Dust? All Is Dust is very powerful, but the problem is you have to actually assemble Tron to cast All Is Dust. It's very unlikely that you'll ever just play 7 lands. So with something like Oblivion Stone, even though it's 8 mana to play it and crack it, you can split that up into a 3 mana payment and a 5 mana payment, so under things like Blood Moon, you can still play it at a reasonable pace. That's the main reason why Tron doesn't play All Is Dust. There's a lot of like Magus of the Moon and Blood Moon, and a lot of like Tron disruption. So yeah, no, I'm happy to be streaming. I'm kind of excited to start working on the channel again now that I have like dedicated space for everything. I've been really enjoying working on the house and trying to get things up and going. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I mean, like, there is some benefit to playing All Is Dust, because you can trigger, like, Sanctum of Ugin with it. And it's a little more one-sided than O-Stone is for, like, you know, you don't have to sacrifice your Karns and things like that, but I do want to play first. I think we can do better than this. I'm going to mulligan. I mean, this is 3 redraws. Opponent reveals Kahira, so odds are they are a control deck. I think I am going to go to 5. Okay, yep, 2/3 of Tron, 2 redraws, and a Karn. So that's good enough. So we'll start mine into Sphere. Pass the turn. With a star, it wasn't bad. That's true, but against control, I like having access to like natural Tron as a progression more. So we'll play Chromatic Star, and we'll play Urza's Power Plant. Thanks, Dick Record. Appreciate that. Like I said, I'm still moving in and setting up. There's like, you know, piles of stuff everywhere right now, but I've actually been, I was waiting for the carpets to be cleaned because the carpets were like pretty grungy. So Chalice on 1, huh? Okay. I was waiting for the carpets to be cleaned, so I had my bed set up in this room for a little bit. Against control, you lose if you mulligan low? I mean, maybe. So let's draw a card. Another Karn. Well, play another Urza's Mine, pass the turn. The problem, the only problem with Weather the Storm is Skullcrack. That's really what you gotta watch out for.
Happy birthday!
Not my birthday, Carrie and Lich, but welcome. We draw a Chromatic Sphere, which does nothing. It would just get countered by Chalice. I'm gonna play a Power Plant. Pass the turn. We'd really like to top deck a tower at this point. Okay, opponent's got a Teferi, Time Raveler, and plays another land. Show me a tower. I mean, it's an Oblivion Stone, which answers their whole board if they don't answer it. They do force pitching Counterspell. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent passes. We untap and draw another Urza's Mine. Days Undoing. So we're getting Wits Ended. Pass the turn. Good old Teferi Days Undoing. With Narset on board. Just, you know, casual, I get to Time Twister and you get a Wits End. It's pretty powerful in a control deck. Is this Legacy? That kind of feels like Vintage right now, we're being honest. I don't think... I don't think we're winning this game. MC Tot, welcome. How's it going? There's a Narset deck in Legacy? That doesn't surprise me, but... opponent attacks us with a Solitude. I mean, they're a control player with like 6 cards in hand, so what are the odds we could ever resolve one of these threats? But, I mean, we're not dead yet, so we might as well try. There's a Subtlety. This literally is just like broken pile of cards control deck, which is really interesting, because I've not seen this yet. I've not seen... And they're even playing Gemstone Caverns. That's interesting. I have not seen a control deck play these cards. Narset Puzzle Box in Modern is a deck that I've played. Okay, they animate Hall of the Storm Giants. They hit us for a bunch. And even if I play Ugin here, unfortunately, there's just nothing I can do. Because they now have enough mana to animate Hall. So... Yeah, I mean, like, I can down-tick X5, but then I just die to Hall of the Storm Giants, so... I don't have enough to play Wormcoil alongside it either, which is unfortunate. Alrighty. So versus Control... Yeah, right on time, Tower. Exactly. I don't know that I really have a sideboard for this. Because the Grave Hate doesn't really seem to matter. The Force of Vigor, I mean, sure, we can hit Chalice, but we don't really need to worry about Chalice. Especially on the play, so I'm just going to run it back. How do I feel about Prison Tron? I feel like that's probably a bad deck. I don't know what the deck looks like, but given the term Prison and Tron, I don't think it's a good deck. Because, like, right now, Prison effects are at the worst they've ever been in Modern. So, just the premise of the deck seems faulty. Hi, Porter. How you doing, buddy? You've been a good boy all day. It overtook Eldrazi Tron? I mean, Eldrazi Tron has got to be a better deck. Did somebody, like, win a big tournament with it, and everybody wanted to try it out or something? Yeah, I've literally not seen a list, so I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would be good. Based on, you know, gut instinct, but I could be wrong, I guess. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. Oh, yeah, then that might explain. Yeah. I don't think I've ever played against it. Alright. Would like to play first. This hand is not keepable. I mean, maybe this hand is keepable? We'll try it. If we top deck a Tron land, we're in pretty good shape. If they just have like double Prismatic Ending into Narset Days Undoing, that would be sad. Halsey, thank you for resubscribing. I really appreciate that. Good to see you. Been a while. Opponent forces the Expedition map. We untap. We draw another Expedition map. So play Expedition map, play Sanctum, and play Expedition map. Okay. Opponent fetches with Scalding Tarn, gets a Raugrin Triumph, then untaps. They play an island, and they play a Stoneforge Mystic, so they're probably getting Caldra. What did they exile? Days Undoing. And they did get Caldra, so we untap, we draw Chromatic Star. Let's go ahead and map for mine. Play mine, play Chromatic Star, pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays a Mystic Gate. Plays Narset, that's interesting. So they didn't put Caldra into play. They instead went to get Force of Negation. Well, we draw Ulamog. So let's go get Tower. Play Tower. And we'll attempt a Karn Great Creator. This should get forced. They force pitching counterspell. Okay. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps, plays a Hall of the Storm Giants, and plays Days Undoing. Well, we drew Ugin. So, cast Ugin. I'm going to sack Sanctum, and we're going to go get a Sundering Titan. -3 to take out Mystic and Narset. Pass the turn. Why not sacrifice Star first? Because it doesn't draw a card with Narset on the board. Okay. Opponent plays a Flooded Strand. We untap. We draw a Chromatic Star. So, cycle for green. Draw a card. Draw Ulamog. Play Sphere. Big brain plays and restarting the client. I haven't had to restart the client in a while. Let's just keep casting stars here. Okay, we find another power plant. We're back up to 7 mana. Play the star. Sack for green. More spheres! Play the sphere. Sack for green. Okay. Sylvan Scrying. We'll get another tower. Play the tower. And shoot our opponent. Pass the turn. I actually figured out what it was, by the way. My old graphics card, the particular firmware it was on was like not garbage collecting based on whatever backend calls that Moto is using to actually draw to the screen. So like a whole bunch of stuff was literally just building up in memory, causing it to slow down until the program itself was cleaned up. So once I updated my graphics card drivers, it got like 99% better, and then I upgraded to a 3060 Ti, I think it was, and that like fixed everything. So haven't had to worry about it since. But I was also on a graphics card that was like the bare minimum supported, like it was about to be deprecated. The client restarting days are over. Brings a tear to my eye. I know. The end of an era. Alright, we untap. We draw Karn, Great Creator. Let's go ahead and shoot the Solitude. Play a power plant. Cast Ulamog. And we'll go ahead and take out the Hall of Storm Giants and the Mystic Gate. I think technically they can animate Hall to give it Ward. Oh, if they do, it doesn't actually do anything, so... Okay. Pass the turn. Like, they can Solitude here, but we're following this up with a Sundering Titan. Okay. And we gain a bunch of life. Next thing I know, you're going to be playing Battle of Wits for fun. I played Money Mountain for a while, which was a 300-card, $5,000 Battle of Wits deck. I stopped for some reason. Oh, I stopped because I got medicated. And I wasn't supposed to be drinking. That was what it was, because I loved getting drunk and playing Money Mountain. That was fun. Opponent scoops. Alright. Run it back. Nothing like holding onto a house payment and drinking. No kidding, right? I really, speaking of house payment, I cannot describe to you the feeling of actually purchasing a place to live in. That is something new. What is my least favorite deck? To play or play against? That might actually, like, to play, it's probably either Eggs or Lantern, and to play against, it's probably Lantern. Does Blue-White Control not play Spreading Seas anymore? They probably do, but this is a non-meta build of Blue-White Control, at least to my knowledge, because I've not seen Days Undoing in Blue-White Control. Yeah, that could be pretty bad. It seems like a no open top container policy while EDH. Yeah, we'll keep this. We are on the draw, so potentially we could get Prismatic Dending, but we do have Sylvan Scrying. We're going to lead on Mine into Sphere. Pass the turn. Thank you, MC Todd. I really appreciate that. Okay, opponent Prismatic Endings. That's fine. Let's play the Tower and Sphere. Pass the turn. All policies leave after the third shot. Well, I wouldn't say all policies. But yes. All but the most important. Forest Scrying feels safer? Probably was. I mean, like, I was worried that they might have had, like, a Spell Pierce or something. But it happened at home, so I have no one to blame but myself. Fair enough. At least you understand. They play Chalice on one? That's fine. Oh, yeah. They wouldn't play Spell Pierce because they play Chalice on one. They would play something like Flusterstorm. Opponent's just going to cast Days Undoing. I mean, if this gives me Power Plant, then that's great. We did not get Power Plant. We draw Ugin the Ineffable. So let's draw a card. Play Chromatic Sphere. Then draw a card. Ancient Stirrings. Come on, Power Plant. I will take a Sundering Titan. But unfortunately, no Power Plant. Play Chromatic Sphere. Pass the turn. The old Desperation Days Undoing. Opponent Prismatic Endings. And plays a Chalice on one. Okay. I mean, we don't have any more... I was going to say we don't have any more spells we need to cast, but... let's go ahead and play out Sanctum of Ugin. Pass the turn. Man, if we can top deck a Power Plant, we are in business. Okay, opponent plays Polluted Delta. I mean, that is not a Power Plant, but it is another tower. At least next turn we can at least cast Ugin the Ineffable. Start upticking Blast Zone to 3. That might be reasonable. That's maybe what I should have done there. I technically what I went for was the maximum upside play, but if they hit Days Undoing and like land Days Undoing, I'll be pretty upset. Okay. Oh, that'll just get countered. What am I doing? Play Blast Zone. Play Ugin. Yeah, that's a Gemstone Caverns. Kill Narset. Okay, pass the turn. Opponent is playing Teferi, Narset, Days Undoing, Gemstone Caverns control. Okay. Opponent untaps. Or Blue-White Prison for short. Just about, yes. I mean, as a Blue-White control deck, if you could Wits End your opponent while getting a full grip, that's basically Prison, so yeah. Halsey, I've got bad news for you. I really, really do. So we're going to uptick Ugin. We're going to make a token. Token has a worm coil underneath it. Then I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, let's try casting a Sundering Titan. I will not be sacking Sanctum. Okay, opponent is going to cast Subtlety. I do not want to put Sundering Titan back on top of the deck, so we're going to the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and pass turn. Big Ugin was less value there. I mean, like, when you look at it, it's kind of an unassuming card, but when you realize what it is, which is a high toughness 2-mana flyer that gets bigger by playing spells, or your opponent playing spells, like, when you describe it in that manner, it makes a lot of sense. Big spell here, huh? Cauldra complete. Okay, we really, as long as we can dodge force and draw land, we should be good. Just let me draw land, please. There it is. There's a land. Cast a Karn. We will not be sacking Sanctum. And we have to exile Cauldra. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. We're not in a winning position yet. If we can get a power plant, and we can just like triple spell, we're probably fine at that point, but they're attacking us, so they're just gonna... they want to draw a card, which tells me they probably either need a card to pitch to force, or... okay. We untap and draw Chromatic Star. Let's uptick on our opponent's hand. We get a prismatic ending. Play Karn Liberated. We will not be sacking Sanctum. Keep the new one. And we're gonna exile Sword. Actually, 7-8 damage. I'm gonna exile Hall of the Storm Giants. The idea here is we're gonna draw a land and play Ugin and mop up the rest of the board. That's the idea. Yeah, just playing Wormcoil was the other option. Oh, it was wrong? Oh, it was wrong because they have, they probably have Solitude. Okay, opponent plays Narset. Down ticks with Narset. They find Force of Negation. So that's a problem. So they're gonna kill Karn this turn. Sword does 2 damage and draws a card every time we get hit. Nice. Yeah, I can't cast Ugin, and I can't activate Oblivion Stone, and I can't cast any of these 1-drops, and if I play Wormcoil, I just die to them attacking. So we actually have lost. Mainly because they top decked a Force, and the other reason is we didn't draw land. Yeah, play out a Wormcoil. Oh, it isn't me that popularized it. It's somebody that started playing it after. Opponent had Otawara just to say, look at this. And we lose. Unfortunate. Moving on to round 2. That was close. Yeah. Alright, Halsey. Thanks for tuning in. And maybe that was right, MC Todd. I don't know exactly there. Like, you can't just evaluate that deck like your opponent is playing Zoria's Control. I'm not saying I played correctly by any means. I'm just saying I don't know the proper play pattern there. But because the play pattern is so different, because they're trying to lock you out of the game, I'm not sure what you have to try and play around or play towards. Fair enough. Alrighty, round 2, here we go. Versus a blind opponent. I think we're gonna mulligan. This isn't much better. I'm going to 5. We're going to 4. Going to 3. Alright. We will keep Tower Star Stirrings. We are against Goblins. Okay. I mean, if we just, like, in the next 2 draw steps, rip a Tron land and Stirrings into the 3rd, we can play Karn on turn 3. Like, there's a possibility. It's not really good against Goblins, necessarily, but it maybe is something that would work. Opponent reveals Conspicuous Snoop. With a Kiki on top. Are you kidding? Oh, it has Summoning Sickness. But I mean, like, there's nothing I can do about this. They just make a whole bunch on their upkeep, right? Cast Ancient Stirrings. We'll take a Power Plant, I guess. Pass the turn. I mean, on their upkeep, they can just make infinite Snoops. And then if they have a way to stack the top of their deck, they just get Slinging Lieutenant. So, like, if they're holding Boggart Harbinger, we just lose. And short of playing Dismember, there's nothing we can do here. I mean, Goblins is a good deck. It's, you know, it's a very aggressive creature deck. And it has a combo finish, so, you know. Don't let anyone tell you it's bad. Oh, man. Oh, if I had that kind of luck... Oh, gosh. If I had that kind of luck, I would never play any other deck. Just turn 2 Conspicuous Snoop, revealing Kiki, draw for draw step, reveal Mog Fanatic. That is the nuts. It does not get better than that. Wow. Good game, opponent. I almost want Force to stop a Vile hand, but It's going to slow us down more than it's really going to help us. We don't have a particularly high number of green spells. I could bring in a Chalice of the Void or an Engineered Explosives. I also think that's probably going to be too slow. And I prefer to leave Ballista and Wishboard, really. So we're just going to... I know Jim Davis loves Goblins. That I do. 2/3 of Tron, some Wormcoil engines. We'll keep. I think they only play 2 Kiki. The last Goblin deck that I saw plays 2 Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker. So, like, that's a 2 out of... what is that? 44, 43? 2 out of 43 chance to reveal that? It's not big. Unless they're playing more than 2 Kiki, but... even if they are, it's still not a huge chance. Let's see what we draw. Another Ancient Stirrings. Okay. Cycle for green. We draw another Urza's Mine. Ancient Stirrings. We get Karn, Great Creator. Rest at the bottom. Play Power Play. Pass the turn. Alright. Aether Vial takes up to 1. Opponent plays a Den of the Bugbear. We untap. We draw Ugin. So we're going to play a Forest and Ancient Stirrings. Looking for a tower. There's the tower. Okay. So, potentially Tron assembled, unless my opponent plays a Magus of the Moon. And I suspect they would play Magus of the Moon over regular Blood Moon, simply because they are a creature-oriented deck. They're going to vial in a 1-drop before taking up Aether Vial. They throw in Mog Fanatic. They play Auntie's Hovel, revealing Boggart Harbinger. Harbinger is going to put... Snoop on top. Okay. So we draw another Karn Great Creator. Let's think about this. We will be playing a tower 100%. Our options are... we can play Karn, and we can play out like a Walking Ballista to leave a blocker for Karn and prevent them from using Aether Vial. We can play Karn, and we can play Ensnaring Bridge, but that doesn't really stop them from doing anything. We can actually play Karn and play Explosives on one to take out the Vial and the Mog Fanatic. Although Karn will die to the Harbinger attacking. I'm kind of like in the Engineered Explosives line. The alternative is like playing Ugin and -3ing Ugin, but that still gives them use of Vial. I think we do the Karn line because I think Karn's just better here. I could... No, never mind. Let's do the Engineered Explosives line. Trinisphere doesn't really do that much because they can just kill Karn anyway, so they would just get Vial back. And tick up on the 3-drop. I don't know. I don't think that's bad necessarily, but I'm just worried about them having access to like this much mana. Okay. They shoot Karn down to 2, they lose Aether Vial. Because now, without a Vial on the field, they have to play everything at sorcery speed. Now if they just play out a bunch of Goblins, we can Ugin them out of the game. Okay, they play Snoop. They reveal a Goblin Matron on top. They play an Unclaimed Territory and name Goblin, and they're going to kill Karn. So it looks like they're holding up a Munitions Expert. If they have any instant speed combat trick, that is. We draw another Ugin the Spirit Dragon. So, play Ugin. -3. Okay, pass the turn. So they draw Goblin Matron. Where does Ugin send the Goblins? To the Shadow Realm. Okay, opponent animates Den of the Bugbear. And is going to attack and kill Ugin. This is fine-ish. We untap. We draw another Wormcoil Engine. Let's go ahead and Ugin and just kill the token. And if we draw another Tron land, we can, like, Karn and Wormcoil, or double Wormcoil. Welcome, Jackhead. How's it going? Opponent plays a Goblin Matron. Thank you. I very much like the house. It's very, very nice to have my own place and know that I can do whatever I want to it. Okay, opponent plays a Goblin Chieftain. So they can attack Ugin for 4, or they can attack us for 4. Okay, Ugin goes down to 5. We untap. We draw Karn Liberated. So, kill the Goblin Chieftain. Play Karn Great Creator. Wish. And we're going to get Walking Ballista. And follow up with Wormcoil Engine. Pass the turn. And the game is over. Alright. I think I'm going to move the camera because of where it was during that last game. Whoops. Undo. Camera. Video capture device. Unlock. Move that down here. We take chat. We will reverse its position with the camera. And I think that'll make things a little bit more tolerable to look at. Does Torpor Orb stop the combo? No. It stops the full combo of Boggart. It stops Boggart Harbinger, which is generally how they finish. But if it wouldn't have stopped, for example, in Game 1, where they just naturally had a Mog Fanatic under the Kikijiki. It stops activated abilities. Are you talking about Damping Matrix? This is a mulligan. This is... It's pretty close to a keep. But it's a pretty high-risk keep. I'm going to go to 5. Okay, this is a keep. And we'll be putting back Oblivion Stone and Ulamog. Opponent leads on Bloodstained Mire after also mulliganing to 5. That's probably good news for us. We'll lead on Mine, Playstar, pass the turn. Opponent cracks Bloodstained Mire, Cursed Totem. I am unfamiliar with Cursed Totem. Must be a recent print. Opponent plays a Conspicuous Snoop with a Skirk Prospector on top. We untap and draw. Besieju Who Endures. So, play Tower. I'm gonna go find Power Plant. So, sack Star for green. Wormcoil Engine. Sylvan Scrying. Get a Power Plant. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Swamp into a Boggart Harbinger, which kills us. So for those of you unaware of the combo, they put Kikijiki on top of their deck, they make infinite Conspicuous Snoop clones, then they clone Boggart Harbinger once, putting Mog Fanatic or Sling Gang Lieutenant on top of their deck, so unfortunately we just lose to the combo hand. Alright, on to round 3. That's a little disappointing. I feel like we had game in both of those matchups. Like, neither one was ideal, but we definitely could have won. Alright. Round 3, here we go. Round 2 was very similar to round 1. We 1-2'd. So we are 0-2 going into round 3. Yeah, like, game 1 was a ridiculously lucky combo off by Goblins, and game 2 they just mulliganed for the combo hand and found it. Natural Tron into double Karn. That seems pretty good. We also have Sanctum of Ugin for the second Karn. Okay, opponent's playing Gigantha. They're playing Giganthatron. Pass the turn. I mean, we have the ideal Tron hand to play against Tron, so hopefully they don't have turn 3 Tron. This is gonna come down to who has turn 3 Tron. Turn 3 Tron and the capability to interact with our opponent's mana base. That's the key point. They picked up a Forest, so it's possible they don't have Tron. Pass the turn. Okay. So they did not have Tron on turn 3. Okay, they Sylvan Scrying for Power Plant. We draw a tower, play Karn, take out their tower, pass the turn, and we got them, basically. So we untap, take out Power Plant. They're going to Warping Whale to make a Scion. Sure. Play a Sanctum, and play Sundering Titan. Sack Sanctum. Get Ulamog. Alright, we got him. I am going to bring in Force of Vigor. I'm going to drop an Oblivion Stone. Both Ugin the Spirit Dragons, because they're just awful. And we're going to run it back. I could bring in Kozilek, but I feel like that's a little optimistic. It might be better than like a Worm Coil, actually, but I already submitted. We can definitely do better than this hand. This hand is going to be a mulligan. 6 mana Ugin is actually somewhat important. It doesn't hit anything with its down tick necessarily, but its up tick matters. And its cost reduction matters. Okay, you know, I'll keep Natural Tron into Karn. Okay, opponent starts Tower into Star. We start Power Plant into Map. Opponent Ancient Stirrings, revealing Power Plant. So they did get the second Tron land. And they play a map. We draw a redundant Power Plant. Play Tower, pass the turn. So if they have to map for Tron this turn, we're still going to beat them. So they pick up Mine. They play the Mine. They play a Star. They redraw with Star. Yeah, no, like we're not like 100% to win, but it is a pretty good chance. So we get a Mine. Untap. Play the Mine. Play Karn. And I'm gonna nuke... Oh, I shouldn't have dismissed. They tutored for... Urza's Mine. Wait. Yeah, they tutored for Urza's Mine, so I'm gonna take out Urza's Mine. Pass the turn. The problem is now, if they do, like, have the final land, have Tron, and, like, played their own Karn, for example, they would have to Karn our Karn, and then we would just, you know... Yeah, this game's over. Yep. Alright. Well, we beat Tron because they were playing Gigantha and we weren't. And that's my reasoning, and I'm sticking to it. I will not be accepting questions. Gigantha's a terrible card in Tron. Moving on to round 4. That Gigantha could have made all the difference. Yeah, because it means they're not playing Ballista, it means they're not playing Force, it means they're not playing Chalice, it means they're not playing Kozilek the Great Distortion, I guess. Like, it's... And it's a 5/5, so it's just outclassed by, I don't know, the 4 Worm Coils I have in the main deck. Fair enough, Hyper Voice, fair enough. What is Gigantha for? They play it because it has the word companion on it, and they think it's overpowered, but the logic is that they, like, if they run out of cards, it's the 8th card in hand, they can just play it, and but the problem is it's a 5/5 that doesn't help you cast any of your spells. And just playing an 8 mana 5/5 in Tron is not worth the restriction. It's better to play a more threat-dense Tron deck. Okay, I'm not keeping a 0-lander, so this is a mulligan. Double Power Plant Map Stirrings? I feel like I can do better on 5, so I'm going to mulligan. I can do better on 4. You know what? I'm going to 3 again. Alright! We're keeping 3. We've got... Power Plant Tower Map. We just need to draw threat. Opponent plays a Stomping Ground untapped. 1 moment. Alright. So play Power Plant, play Map. Pass the turn. You have a strong paper win-loss record on a mull to 3. If there's a deck that can win on a mull to 3, it's Green Tron. I've actually won a mulligan to 2 with Green Tron, though that was not likely. I basically just top-decked, like, Tron land, threat. That's really what happened. But generally, I try not to go lower than 5, if I can avoid it. We're definitely not favored here. This is like a super aggressive red burn deck, so... They surveil a Swift Spear into the grave. This could actually be Magecraft. This is definitely like Magecraft of some kind. Abundant Harvest. Okay. Yeah, they generally play white, but I've seen Naya. So we're taking 9. They have 1 card left in hand. It's not my birthday, but welcome. Let's go get Urza's Mine. Pass the turn. Opponent draws a card. Bolts our face. I'm actually dead. I am actually dead. Because they can flashback Lava Dart. Oh, and they had light up the stage. Okay. Well, I mean, hyper fast aggro. That's what it does. Natural Tron, not fast enough. Okay, fair enough. I tell you what, I'm going to bring in the Chalices. We're going to cut the Ulamog and an Ugin and run it like that. I could bring in Relics. I don't think I need to bring in Relics. Alright, I would like to play first. Yeah, I'm going to cut Titan for Relic, but I like Titan. We'll put back in Urza's Tower and play Power Plant into map. Okay, Pona plays a Copperline Gorge into a Dragon's Rage Channeler, into a Bubble. I would Chalice on 2 here. So many of their cards are 1 CMC. It's super high value. If they have land Shatter Spree, then I guess it's technically wrong, but this should buy me enough time, especially because the creature that they played is Dragon's Rage Channeler and not Monastery Swiftspear. Because Monastery Swiftspear, there's a risk that my opponent goes like Manamorphose, 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 Lava Dart, Flashback, Lava Dart, Assault Strobe, and like I'm dead. With it being Dragon's Rage Channeler, not a prowess creature, it's even better to play the Chalice. Okay, opponent plays a Wooded Foothills, throws a Bolt into the Chalice just to get the Surveil. Does Chalice of the Void exist in Pioneer? It's not been printed since Mirrodin, right? Or are you talking about Alchemy? Yeah, I think playing Chalice here was correct. I think that was the right choice. Most of the meta in Modern, fair enough. Okay, yeah, I mean, if we're just going to draw Natural Tron, that's totally fine. Let's go ahead and play Karn and get Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah, for a while, Blue-White Control has been playing Chalice in the main deck, simply because otherwise, like, counter spells are really bad. But I also think there are more answers to Chalice now than there ever have been. Between Force of Vigor and Prismatic Ending and March, like, I'm generally not a fan of prison effects in Modern right now. Like, anything you stick onto the board can be super easily removed. Maybe not in local metagames, because generally it takes a long time for local metagames to adapt to like new and expensive removal, but that's a mulligan. This is also a mulligan. And I will keep this. We're going to put back Oblivion Stone and Karn. Okay, opponent leads on Scalding Tarn. I'm going to crack Scalding Tarn for a Stomping Ground tapped. I could play Ancient Stirrings first. Maybe I should have. Okay, opponent plays a Swift Spear. Hits us for 1. Now, opponent probably brought in Shatter Spree. You don't play a deck like this without having access to it in your sideboard, but... Okay, we draw Oblivion Stone, play Tower. Chalice on 1. Opponent untaps. So they waited to play Bauble until this turn for the Prowess trigger, so they could attack. They fetch and shock Stomping Ground. And they play Magus of the Moon. Okay. I mean, that's not fantastic for us, but that's fine. They hit us for 2, we go down to 17. We untap, we draw Chromatic Sphere, which we cannot play because of our own Chalice. So, play Oblivion Stone. Pass the turn. Next turn, if we don't draw a land, we can Sylvan Scrying for a land. And if we do draw a land, we can play it in Sylvan Scrying to get our 5th land. They bobble our top deck. They untap. We draw some cards. They play a Wooded Foothills. Why are they playing green? It must be for, like, Veil of Summer. Ancient Grudge. Destroying Oblivion Stone. They can't flash it back for the Chalice, though. Okay. They hit us for 5. We untap and draw Karn, so let's go get a power plant. They bobble our top deck again, for some reason. Play power plant. Pass the turn. Opponent draws an extra card. They hit us for 3. We go to 9. We draw another Oblivion Stone, so we are going to play it. Pass the turn. Problem is now we're at a low enough life total that if I pop Oblivion Stone, I'm probably just going to die to Lightning Bolt. I may not actually have a choice, but opponent casts a Light Up the Stage, revealing Manamorphose and Copperline Gorge. They probably Manamorphose for green to Ancient Grudge here. There it is. Okay. Well, that looks like it's going to be the game. Because I can't cast either of these. If I draw Karn, it doesn't do anything. If I draw Wormcoil, I'm missing a land. I can't pop O-Stone. Yeah. Alright, they got us. Super unfortunate, but all the games we've lost, we won at least one game in, and we definitely could have beaten any of those opponents. So, had the facts of the situation been slightly different than they were. Yep, we're going for the 50 play points. Man, I can feel the fatigue creeping in. I thought I had more gas in the tank today. I really did. But I've been up pretty early. I'm doing quite a bit. Alright, let's play first. This is, I guess, one of the better hands we've seen. I am going to keep this. We have multiple redraws. What's the record? We're 1-3. We won a game on all 3 of our losses. So, you know, it's not like our opponent's decks are unbeatable. Opponent leads on a Bloodstained Mire. Tron is bad? No. No. Tron never bad. Opponent plays an Unlucky Witness. I have no idea what my opponent is playing. We draw an Expedition map. Play Sphere. Play Tower. Cycle. Draw another Expedition map. Play Sphere. Pass the turn. Tron isn't good, but Tron isn't great. It's still good. Okay, we take 1. Go to 19. Opponent Village Rites. So they exile Malakir Rebirth and Grief. Oh! Opponent is griefing. That's what they're doing. They play Ragavan. Sure. Getting griefed. There goes Wormcoil. Oh, they took Oblivion Stone. Interesting. Okay. We untap and draw Karn, Great Creator. So let's cycle and try and draw. Sylvan Scrying for Power Plant. Play Power Plant. Map. Map. Pass. It's red black grief. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're playing like Unearth and stuff too, but okay, they hit us, they make a treasure, they exile an Expedition map. What does Tron need to make it tier 1 or 0? Crop rotation. We untap. We draw an Oblivion Stone. Let's go get another tower. Play the tower. And play Karn with 4 mana left over, or I can just play and activate Oblivion Stone. I think I like that a little better. Okay, pass the turn. It needs an 11 cost Eldrazi. It does not. It needs a 10 cost Eldrazi that wins the game. Okay, opponent attacks for a bunch. Yeah, I am going to activate here because I don't want them getting the treasure. They can just play a land and get back Bloodghasts, and that's fine. They're going to Village Rites, they're going to Malakir Rebirth. Okay. 11 is a nice round number. I don't think it does. Ad break, did Kano say any wise words? Yes, you missed the secret to the life, the universe, and everything. I mean, new Karn, they will not print a Karn liberated level threat for Tron. That will not happen. No way. In fact, the only reason we got Karn Great Creator is because nobody realized it was a Karn liberated level threat. So, just saying. We untap. We draw a Sylvan Scrying. So I've got 11 mana. So we can just, like, Forest, Karn, Ensnaring Bridge? Karn Liberated isn't tier 0 anyway. Yeah, not anymore. Back when Modern used to be, I'm going to play one thing a turn, it absolutely was. It was so good. Do I just play Wormcoil here? And, like, Sylvan Scrying for another Tron land? I actually think that's what I do. So I'm going to play Wormcoil. Play a Forest and Sylvan Scrying. I'm actually going to get Sanctum. Pass the turn. Opponent Village Rites a Bloodghast. Vesuva, but it copies a land from her deck. Yeah, that's basically like crop rotation, right? Yeah, without some broken land tutor or ways to cheat out lands that aren't what do you call it? That are non-basic. Like you're not really going to get anything better than what we've already got. Okay, we draw Chromatic Star. Play Sanctum. Play Karn. And I think I'm going to go for the Sundering Titan. We will sack Sanctum to get Ulamog. Blow up 2 of their lands and 1 of mine. Pass the turn. Yeah, I'm looking forward to spoilers for Dominaria. I think it's going to be a good set. It seemed like we got a bunch of limited formats like right in a row where the like wait time between them wasn't as long. That might just be like my biased perception. Block. Block. I'm probably dead. He's going to Goblin Grenade. Just watch. Village Rites so that I don't gain life. We go to 5. Sokinzan, alright? Yep, we're dead. Oh, math. Gotta love it. To be fair, I knew they had Goblin Bombardment in their deck too. I saw it in their graveyard. So I guess I should have done something to try and play around it, but lots of combo decks today? Yeah, I mean, it's modern. You know, you got a lot of combo potential in this format. I mean, Force doesn't really do anything. I suppose I should have, like, the Relics in the deck over... Sundering Titan's not that useful. We can put an Oblivion Stone in the sun. Yeah, let's try it. Alright, we'll play first. Well, that's the other thing, is the Baldur's Gate limited format didn't even come out on Moto. So, yeah, we'll keep this. We do have a turn 3 Tron set up. And I mean, like, I'm kind of hesitant to call Double Masters 2022 a money grab, because that's the kind of product that, like, LGS is needed to kind of revive their books a little bit. From what I understand. You know, I'm not saying that it couldn't have been done better or it doesn't have its problems, but from what I understand, it actually was overall a good thing. Okay, opponent takes both my Sylvan Scryings like a jerk. We draw an Urza's Tower, sack Spear for green, draw another Sphere, play a tower, pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays an Unlucky Witness and passes. We draw a Sylvan Scrying, so sack for green, we get an Expedition Map, Sylvan Scrying, let's go get Power Plant. Play Power Plant. Play Expedition Map. Pass the turn. We get hit for 4. One plays Sokinzon and Season Pyro. Did they? What just happened there? Oh, they just discarded Mountain because they had like no cards left. I see. Okay, we draw Karn Great Creator. So let's map for a tower. Play tower. Play O-Stone. Sack O-Stone. Don't Magus of the Moon me, bro. Come on. Here it is. And they pitch Mayhem Devil to Grief to take my card. What a jerk. How dare you play this game efficiently and in a manner that counters my deck. Well, we drew Wormcoil. Wormcoil will win us the game if my opponent stumbles. Okay, they attack us for 2, we go to 11. We untap, we draw Power Plant. Play Power Plant. Go, Gadget, Wormcoil Engine. Pass the turn. Opponent scoops. Alright. Final round. This is for all 50 play points. That's a mulligan. That's a mulligan as well. We're going to 4. Oh, it's not a good 4. Down to 3. Sure, I do not like it. Put back... Actually, I'm going to put back Yavimaya simply because they did show Magus of the Moon. You can beat your opponent by what has grief by not keeping cards in hand for them to grief. That's the secret. So, Forest, Ancient Stirrings. Let's take Tower. Rest of the bottom. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Swamp, cracks Bloodstained Mire, gets a Mountain, and dashes a Ragavan. Okay. So we get hit for 2, they get a Treasure, and they exile Karn. And they pick up Ragavan. Draw Wormcoil Engine, play a Tower, play a Relic. Relic that land away. Pass the turn. Okay, dashing Ragavan again. We go down to 16. They exile a Chromatic Sphere, which would have been a decent top deck for us. They play out the Sphere. They pick up Ragavan. We untap. We draw a second Relic. So play Power Plant. Play Relic. Pass the turn. Dash and Ragavan again. I wonder if they kept like a really crazy grief reanimate combo or something, and then we mulliganed to 3 and thwarted their plan because they're like, they don't have anything to take. Okay, opponent exiles a Karn Liberated. Thankfully they cannot cast that. That would be tremendously bad for our health. Opponent plays an Unlucky Witness, and it looks like a Village Rites. Okay, then exile that. They reveal Goblin Bombardment and Bloodstained Mire, then draw 2 cards. They play the Bloodstained Mire, crack it, get a Blood Crypt, and they play out a second Ragavan. Okay. Then exile the Graves, we draw Sanctum, untap, we draw another Tower, sure, play Tower, pass the turn. Opponent untaps, they draw. They go to combat, attack us for 2. We take 2, go to 12. They exile our Urza's Mine like a jerk. We're getting griefed. So they take Worm Coil. They sack Chromatic Sphere to cycle. And they play Magus of the Moon. I'm gonna go ahead and draw here. Okay. Play Sanctum. It's the land they know about. I mean, we could draw a Worm Coil Engine would be good here, or get Oblivion Stone would be okay. If we don't die, that is. It plays our Chromatic Star and a Seasoned Pyromancer, ditching 2 cards that make tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are representing lethal, so we basically need Worm Coil Engine, or we just die. That is not Worm Coil Engine. Dang. Look at all them 1-2s. We were so close. We could have won any one of those 4 matches. In fact, we could have won all of those 4 matches. But we did not get lucky enough to do that. Also, I am just now seeing my father pulling into my driveway, and I've got to help him unload some stuff. I didn't realize he was coming this early. So I'm actually going to have to cut the stream here, but I want you to know that you're all wonderful human beings. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It means a lot. I did not intend for this to be a shorter stream, but I now have more stuff I have to do. You see Porter laying in his bed. Before everybody goes, I am going to try to stream this Wednesday. I will post in the Discord. I will be streaming my Wednesday evening, so it'll be a lot later in the day than this normal stream. I'm going to try and make that happen, and we're going to see if we can't get back into the swing of 2 streams a week now that I'm sort of established in the house. And I will be setting up a whole bunch of pre-recorded videos, so expect a lot more content on the YouTube channel coming up. If you want to sneak in any subscriptions to make it into the outro, the cool Patreon outro, now's the time to subscribe on Twitch so you get recognized. But y'all are super awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're all wonderful human beings, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, everybody!